Good evening, YouTube. It's Thunda Dan back at it again with another episode of 302 Fishing. Just got done work. I'm coming out for a quick fishing episode. I'm sure you can notice the late sun that's up right now. It's almost 6 o'clock. And the start of summer started on Friday. My favorite time of the year is right in front of you. Buzzbait season. As you can notice, I got a bevy of buzzbaits right in front of you. These are all by the same make and model. I don't endorse them. I'm not getting paid by them, but these are my favorite buzzbaits that I love to use. Reasonable on cost, about $5 a piece. Each one of these have an application, the colors and everything else, based on water clarity and, of course, the weather. Obviously, we have a bluebird sky, a couple clouds here and there. So the two primary baits that we're going to be using right now on this episode are going to be the black blue and the green frog right here. Again, if it's clear, we'll use that green frog. If it's milky, we'll use the dark bait right here. These I do use throughout the year. Again, it's based on the water clarity and conditions, as I told you earlier. And they do react well with these bass out here. But the one that exceeds the most is the black blue. I'm sure you've noticed on most episodes during spring and summer, when I'm using the buzzbait, I get most of my big ones right off of here. But I accidentally bumped into this color last year, and this bait is trying to come to be the close second to this bait right here. So I'm not going to talk too much. I'm going to get out here. We'll talk about these baits a lot when we're out there and how I cast it and the cadence and everything else that we use for that matter. One other thing I want to make sure that I let you guys know is I usually start off bald or naked with the bait, as Oakster would say, but I'm going to carry a bag of swim baits. We always use Reaction Innovations White Trash Little Dipper. We use these because they're not too short and they're not too long. They're just right to fit on there so the fish is not short striking and missing the hooks. I will not tell you about the little extra added bonus that these particular baits have right now, but again, when we get on the water, I'll point it out to you as we get this episode going. So give me a couple seconds. I'm going to tie one of these on, and I am going to carry a fluke with me because, again, the sun's still just a little bit high, so we're going to throw that little fluke out there for a couple minutes. If we get a couple fish, that's fine, but we'll set our sights right on these buzzbaits right now after that fact. And hopefully we can land a pretty good, decent fish out here because there's some nice ones in this pond. So enough of me. Let's make it happen. All right, so here we go. We got to make the long walk over to this pond. And again, I just got to go through this brush to get there. So give me a couple seconds to walk across this field and behind this development. And we'll get that fishing action on. All right, so we're about halfway there. Today was a scorcher. Well over 90 degrees, and with the heat index it was at 96 degrees, and it's the start of a heat wave. 3 days worth of 90 degrees in Delaware constitute a heat wave, and I'm feeling every bit of it. All right, so I'm down at the pond and we got a major issue. So a quarter of the pond, as you can see right in front of us, is covered deep, thick algae all over the place. Kind of makes you want to do a frog episode, but I'm not going back to the car. So we're going to stay away from that, but we are going to work these edges right along here to see if there's fish lurking right around these little patches and everything else. Looks like we're going to be relegated to the other side over here and over to the left-hand side by the pipes. But this is the same pond that Oakster smoked me on that one day when he caught that big old fish on the drop over on the bed there by that stream where you saw the minnows coming out of by the sewer pipe. So let's get going. Let's throw some casts out, and hopefully, if we're lucky, we get some bass on. Okay, it looks like they did a lot of clearing. This is the clearest I've ever seen this place ever. Looks like somebody came through a weed whacker and just drilled down a lot of these plants and everything else right here, making a lot of openings for us to stand on and not be obstructed by all these big old plants. They, of course, if you look across the way here, the whole perimeter's been mowed down and everything else, so they trimmed it up. And again, it makes it much easier for us to get through here and fish. But we're going to start off with that fluke, as I said. Throw a couple shots out there. I'll give it about a half an hour for that sun to settle a little further. And I want to see some blow-ups. The fluke that we're using is called Albino. It is by Zoom, if you wish to go out to purchase it. And I have a lot of luck on this one. And usually there's another one. It's kind of like a bass color that I like to use, and it gets good results as well. Fish on. There we go. Right off the bat, guys. right on the fluke. I was wondering if that bait was moving to the left or not, but it was. And first cast, how about that? Let's go ahead and get that bass off there and get it on its way. It's a little dink, but we are not skunked. And it is feisty as anything. All right, oh, easy, easy, easy. She's gone. That fish did not want to be held. I can see a couple bass sitting right there, small ones, little dinks right along the shoreline, right up underneath these algae pads. But I want to go out a little deeper where the big ones are at. But again, I'm throwing a bait these fish normally do not see, and that's that fluke. Because we're always using green pumpkin in here all the time, and using those kinky beavers. Oh Lord. I went to fix a backlash, and you see what it's here, guys. There's no connection whatsoever to the line here. So again, we're just going to go right to the buzzbait. Oh, do we have a fish on too? We might have a fish on, guys. Hold on. Let me see what happens here first. Yep, we got a fish on here. Watch this, guys. Check it out. There we go. So we got him. It looks like the bait's still moving. Check it out. Watch the line. See the line, guys? There is a fish on there. I'm going to let it tighten up. Let it tighten up. Here we go. Fish on. We're hand tying it. We got it by hand, guys. Broken line and all. See him? He jumped out of the water. Holy crap. All right, let me drop this rod real quick. We're going to hand line it in. Wow, that was crazy. All right, I'm caught on this branch. But get off of there. Give me that fish. Oh, it looks like it broke off. Hold on. There's the line still. We're going to grab it. I still got it. Is that fish still on there or what? Oh, she snapped off, guys. Oh, that sucked. I had it on once, the line broke again, fish gone. All right, so based on the water clarity, you see that the water is just about 90% clear. I'm gonna go with the green frog. Hopefully the line doesn't break. There's a big, huge debate as to what line to use with your buzzbaits. It really doesn't matter, guys, whatever you're comfortable with. Mono, fluoro, braid. I know in one pond that we use, which is the one that we have all the hydrilla on, did you see guys, us fishing on all the time? I always never go there without putting braid on there because it's hard getting those big fish through all of that nonsense right there. But this bait, I can get away, I think it's about 10-pound test on here. I can get away with that and be able to drag that bass in fairly easily. But let's get green frog out there and see if we can get a blow up. Again, the idea with the buzzbait is to cover a lot of water. Fan, fan, fan. You're basically, have you ever seen the old Japanese fans that got sections, little ribs? Each section holds a piece of cloth. You're gonna fan out just like that. Look, there's a swirl right there, right where I had that buzzbait. But you're gonna keep hitting sections just like this and just like that until you get to the point where you wanna stop, and then maybe you wanna go to a different section, maybe to the left or to the right where you just cast and change directions, because sometimes they might want it a different way. You don't always just go the same way with the buzzbait. Work that bait for every angle that you can, and again, you're gonna get something hitting on that bait. Again, you're not gonna hit 10,000 fish all the time, but when you do get one, you're gonna get a good quality fish on there most of the time. I can see the water level is reasonably low. It's not as high as it usually is, so these bass are probably gonna be more towards the center of the pond. That's why I'm casting way out there now, where those bass are staying cool in the deeper water. But again, I'm gonna be the bold guy. I'm gonna come right around where all these pads or mats of algae are and just come in between them and see if there's a bass in there readying themselves to an ambush point trying to find some bait. Also, guys, when you are casting and you're retrieving and that bass blows that bait up, do not strike the bass upon the blow up. You're gonna treat it like a frog bite. Give it that extra half second to get that bait in its mouth, because they've engulfed a whole bunch of water and they've really not even touched the bait as of yet. But if you give him that half second and he closes his mouth, you'll increase your chances of going ahead and getting that hook and any portion of that mouth and that cartilage, and being able to bring that fish in efficiently and effectively. All right, so we moved a few more feet, and I'm gonna get right back out there with the buzzbait. Cadence is important. I usually start fast to see if they want to hit on a fast bait. Then I'll go with a medium retrieve, and then I go with a slow retrieve. You also have different weights of buzzbaits too. They can go from the heavier set all the way down to the lower set of weights. Basically, having the heavier one, you're gonna have to crank a lot faster to keep it on top. The lower one, the lower weight that is, the slower you can crank it, the more you can keep it on top and give it that slower cadence. But if you're stuck in between, like I am right now, you'll just have to work for the best that it is and the ratio of the rod, the reel that you have on your rod. But it's all good and dandy, because I have full confidence that we will get something here in this pond off of this or the other buzzbait. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to use 2 rods. I'm going to cut the chatterbait off of the one that I have there, and I'm going to throw that black blue on there and do 2 buzzbaits at one time. There's a hit right there in front of us, guys. Oh, it's a nice one too. Very nice one. Big blow up, guys. Big blow up. Look at this. Huge bass. Huge bass. Oh my God, 4 pounds maybe. Wow, right there at the edge, as I told you, by those plumes. Here we go. Nice. Oh my gosh, she is a doozy. She's a doozy. Boom. Green frog. There it is. So like I told you, the bonus that I didn't tell you about right now is coming into effect right now. As I told you, buy the buzzbaits just like it is. But if you notice right here, the main hook is not the one that's on the fish right now. It is the stinger, what people call the trailer, that's on that bass right now. And that's what caught that fish right near that plume. Outstanding. But let's get this hook out of this fish's face. We're gonna go ahead and weigh it up and get it on its merry way. Wow, if I had to guess, just by holding it, I'd say about 4.5 pounds, guessing. So I apologize for the poor audio quality on that. I guess in my excitement, somehow I knocked the mic cord out of the adapter of the GoPro. So if it sounds like the audio doesn't match the video, you're 100% correct. But it doesn't matter. We got that fish in, you saw it, and I was able to get that fish quickly released and out back into the water. Because again, it's a hot summer day. You want to try to get the fish in there as quickly as possible so they don't dry out. So sometimes what I like to do when I'm casting is, even though I'm casting over these plumes and everything, you can do a quick jerk to make that bait go real fast and skip up over that algae bloom and come back in and start spinning again, and I drop right there. Sometimes those bass will erupt and attack right on that bait there too as well. So again, don't be afraid to go around debris that's hanging around in the water, because it might turn out to be a fish of a lifetime that you're able to pull out of this mess. See how I skip across there and just make it super fast? Just a quick little jerk gets it right over. But you got to bring the rod up so it can come up over there. Just don't drag it so it drags that whole plume, and now you got 5 pounds of mesh you got to bring off of there. And again, bring that bait all the way as close to the shore as you can, because they will chase this buzzbait right to the edge. Tell you one thing, my least favorite thing about this pond right here, thankfully most of them are gone, the sticker bushes. Very painful. Oh, right there, I just ran right into a patch right here in front of me. See it? It's weird to see these big clumps of grass all pushed off to the side like that. And so there's one. Just as we were having luck with the green toad, she decides she wants to break off. All right, I'm gonna dig into my bag of tricks, and out comes the black blue. And we're gonna tie that on and keep throwing out there. And this is what we got to work with. So we got to make the magic happen. All right, so we got the black blue on right now. Hopefully we can keep that buzzbait on a little bit longer than we did the green frog. Again, I think that bass that we just caught chafed up the line. I didn't check it, and the line must have busted. So that's my fault, obviously. But let's go ahead and see if we can get black blue to produce something. Oh, there's a hit right there. Fish on. Right as it came across there, as I told you, remember I told you to skip across those little pads, and right as it came over, a fish just blasted the living daylights out of it. All right, black blue's working. There you go, guys. Beautiful. Right off the main hook. About a pound, a little over maybe. But they're looking to strike on any color that I'm putting in front of them right now. So let's get this fish out there and see if there's bigger ones. She's gone. Always check your line, Dan. Always check your line. I heard a big old blow up somewhere, and I can't see it. It looked like it was right over there. Oh, there's a short strike right there. Little one. We're gonna keep throwing over there. We're gonna get that fish. So to cast these buzzbaits, it's not really hard. I mean, if you're just learning how to use a bait casting rod, I wouldn't really highly recommend using a bait like a buzzbait right off the bat. I would just try to get down the weight of the bait and how fast you want this line to come off of your reel using plastics. But once you get everything said and done, you feel comfortable with a bait casting rod, it's really not that hard. I mean, I bring my bait almost to the tip of the rod, click my bail, I bring my rod behind my head, and I cast, and as it's lofting, just as it's touching the ground, I click the bail and bring my tip up high real quick. And then that way the buzzbait stays on top of the water, because what you don't want to have happening is when you're casting it, making a gigantic splash, it goes down to the bottom, and now you got 10 pounds worth of nonsense on the bottom of the bait there. But again, it's harder to cast and talk at the same time rather than just casting all together, because that's really what your focus should always be. But again, just cast, let it loft. As soon as it touches, click and close, and raise that tip immediately. Oh, there's a hit right there, little fish. Oh, there's a little one. But the idea is, as soon as it hits that water, you click that bait and you're clicking that reel, it's coming right across the top of the water immediately. You're not wasting 1 or 2 feet trying to bring it up on the water back up on top. But it's going to take practice. Practice, practice. It took me a long time to learn how to do it, but I finally got it down. Oh, there you go. Fish on. I knew I was going to get one. About a pounder. All right. Black and blues, turn it on. There you go. Let's see what kind of hook it got on it. Whoop. All right, calm down, calm down. Ow, 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 ow. I just got a hook in me, guys. Oh, right in the thumb. And that was the stinger that hit me, because the main hook is the one that's in the bass right now. But that didn't feel good. Then just barely a pound. But we'll get that fish on its way. I heard a splash over there. This fish hit this thing 3 times. And finally, as I'm talking to you guys, it decided to want to hit the bait. So she's gone. I think I'm going to be a little brave. And right where this stack of sawgrass is at, I'm going to cast right over that clump right into there. Because there's usually bass sitting right in that alcove area. Again, slowing that buzzbait down. The cadence is important right now, because they are not chasing after it at a fast cadence. But there's always a pretty good size one. Oh, I think we just might have lost our other buzzbait. Gonna have to walk over. Here we go, guys. One thing about these reeds, once you're in there, you're in there. And we might have to go to plastics. All right, so I got her buried into that reed pretty well. So we caught a few fish off the buzzbait, so we met our goal. I did buy a pack of Rage Crawl a couple days ago. I got that in my pocket. We're gonna slap that on, and we're gonna see if we can get some fish off of some plastic, because I'm not making that long walk all the way back for the other 2 buzzbait. But let's hopefully not hear the snap of death, but more than likely we are. So here we go. What's gonna happen? Oh, guess what, guys? Woohoo! Guess what? Guess what? It's got a pile of donkey dew on it, but boom, there's the buzzbait. Woo! All right. So as I told you, I do take risks, and I almost made the ultimate sacrifice again for another buzzbait. But we got lucky. There's chafing on the line. We will recut and retie. Thank you, Jesus. Let's keep going on with the buzzbait episode. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and undo the buzzbait here. We do have a swirl that's right out there, but I'm not going to cast that far out. All of my focus is on this area right here. And again, not getting too close. Just a note there, guys. If you have any favorite buzzbaits that you like to use, drop a comment. Let me know what you guys use, and I might come out here and try to use that buzzbait out there and try to see if I can get a big one off of anything other than what I normally use here in the state of Delaware. I'll be curious to know what folks use and what types of lines that you use with that particular style of bait. All right, sun's starting to set rapidly down. I think we got maybe 30 to 25 minutes worth of light left. Oh, there we go, fish on. There's another one. Oh, all right, another pounder. All right, great job. Again, same thing. I kept reeling. I didn't stop and jerk the line. Maybe a little bit. But they're pounding the daylight. This is the perfect time. Soon as the sun starts setting behind the horizon is when these bass start picking up and slamming up on these topwater baits. All right, that bass hit up on both of those hooks there, the trailer and as well the main hook. Definitely gonna need the pliers on this one. Oh, fish is jumping all over, boy. It's feisty. He didn't like being hooked at all, but there we go, another bass, and she's gone. So that's the corner we're going to go to right here. I'm going to cast along parallel to that algae bed and right out in the middle right there. Okay, once we get down here, it's an almost certain we're going to catch fish, because you can see 1, 2 swirls right there already. And I can see a lot of action already moving around. Got an AC 130 flying right above us. You can look in the reflection. See the reflection in the water? Come on, baby. Bring me something from... Oh, there we go. Oh, my goodness gracious. That one there was a decent hit. Oh, my goodness gracious. Did you see that? Oh, crap. Wow. Double tap, guys. Double tap. Let's see if it's greedy enough to come back again for it. Wowie, wowie, wow. That was a huge blow up right in front of me. Man. All right, I think what I'm going to do right now, guys, just for the heck of it, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a swim bait on there and give them a little extra effort to reach out for that bait there and latch onto that thing. All right, so we got the little dipper white trash bait on here by Reaction Innovations, and we're going to see if we can get a better bite with that swim bait on there. That thing was massive. All right, we need to get a fish here, guys. Short strikes are not going to get it for us. Oh, there we go. Big hit. big fat hit, guys. Oh, that's one. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Kidding me. The line straight snapped off, guys, right there. You can see the line. Gigantic bass, easy 4 pounds. Well, I guess that's how the episode's gonna end here, guys. What a heartbreak. I was at least 100 casts out there, and that thing just absolutely devoured that buzzbait. But you can't have it all, guys. There he is, right there. He literally just jumped out of the water with that buzzbait still in his face. I'm coming back for you, Mr. Bass. It's happening. All right, thanks for sticking out for the whole episode, man. I think we had a great time out there. Caught a few bass. You got the sunset happening in the background, man. Beautiful alpenglow right there. See it? Nice, beautiful bass at the beginning there off that green frog. Nice blow up right in all that junk right there, as I was talking about. By casting through all that stuff, you never know what's going to come up out of there. And then, of course, I broke that bait off, and then I threw on the black blue, and everything just opened up, man. Them fish were just tearing that bait up. Whole bunch of 1-pounders, a possible 2-pounder, and then you saw that one big old blow up that missed, and I threw a couple hundred more casts, and I finally got the blow up that I was looking for. And wouldn't you know it, as the fish strikes the bait and jumps in the air, snaps the line, and there she goes. She rolled off, and then a couple seconds later popped up out of the air, just rubbing in my nose again and saying, hey, ha, you missed me. But anyway, whatever. I got the doozy at the beginning. That's all that mattered. So again, I hope you enjoyed the episode. I enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the tips, the suggestions, and even the colors that I was talking about. Hope you have an awesome summer with that bait. And as always, like, subscribe, push that notification bell, and fish on.